Hello everybody, Aiden here, and welcome into another video on the Around the Slice Entertainment YouTube channel. All right, folks, well, it happened. I released my predictions video yesterday, as this morning we officially had a Nintendo Direct earlier this morning, being June 9th, 2026, so I'm here with you all today to provide for you all, once again, my biggest reactions and personal takeaways from the event. But before we dive deep into all of that with the specifics there and whatever and what have you, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel, as we are always releasing fun and interesting coverage around here on a weekly basis, such as at the end of this month, we have a couple exciting TV shows on the television side of things in The Bear Season 5 and Season 2 of the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series on Netflix, and then a few huge movies, big-ish movies, huge movies left all throughout this month of June in Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day, a new Pixar entry with Toy Story 5, and expanding James Gunn's The DCU in Supergirl. And then in July, my top two most hyped movies coming into the year, still for the rest of the year as well, the two tentpole summer blockbusters in the heart of July, the heart of summer. What a time to be alive. The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan, of course, The Odyssey, and a new MCU entry in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So yeah, the format for today is kind of free-flowing, but also the format specifically is as follows. I'm going to go over every major first-party / side thing that I personally am looking forward to, and to put a fun spin on it, I'm going to give a scale of 1 to 10 how hyped / excited / looking forward to it I am in the future going forward, whether we got a concrete release date or not. 1 being I could give a shit, I could care less, and 10 being I'm hyped as fuck out of my mind. So yeah, just to get out of the way, no, there was a slew of third parties, there was a slew of indie and overseas developed games. I just don't care personally for the purposes of this video, and to get it over with, I am not going to touch on the whole Xenoblade situation. I know there are a bunch of Xenoblades announced / ported / remastered, remake, whatever you want to call it, today in the Direct early this morning. Again, June 6, 2026 it is. But I just don't care about Xenoblade personally. Like, there's some franchises and some game series where I'm like, that looks interesting, that piques my interest, I'll pick it up, and then it comes and goes, and for one reason or another, I just don't pick it up. That's why I have such a big back catalog these days, still from years and years ago. But I mean, I'm sorry, but I know the people that love Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenoblade in general, absolutely freaking adore it, but I'm not one of those people, so it doesn't pique my interest in the slightest, like, at all. Anyway, I'm going to go in chronological order of in which these were announced / revealed. Rhythm Heaven Groove, I only put it on there because, yes, technically it is first party Nintendo, an IP of theirs. Rhythm Heaven Groove will be releasing on July 2nd, 2026. That's what, 3 or 4 weeks, give or take, right over there, 3 or so weeks from now. I think it's only a few weeks from now at the time of this recording and video releasing, the Direct happening, and what, mind you. I get it. Makes perfect sense, that very quick of a turnaround. Because 1, these don't sell very good, but well, assumably, and 2, it's a Rhythm Heaven game, it's a small dev team as is, so you can turn around really quickly like that. I just don't care about it personally. I do appreciate the quick turnaround. I'll give it a 3 on the quote-unquote hype scale of 1 to 10, just because of the quick turnaround factor. That is nice to see that pumped out there. But yeah, 3 out of 10. I could kind of care less. Next, we got a check-in, if you will, of sorts, with Rayman Legends Retold. Obviously, a few days ago, over this past weekend, this was revealed at Summer Games Fest for all parties involved, more specifically all consoles involved: PS5, Xbox Series X/S, and Nintendo Switch 2. I totally do appreciate and understand, rather, and even appreciate, rather, them wanting to dive in their own dedicated Direct. Obviously, this is not a Nintendo first-party IP, but Rayman Legends Retold will be releasing on the Switch 2 on October 1st, 2026. 2026. I like kind of a adventure game right in the heart of spooky season there. So that's a 3D platformer that I need to get into more and more. I believe I have a very fuzzy memory of this, but I believe when I was like, we're talking like early childhood years. I'm 22 right now, so I'm forgetting fuzzy memory. Apologize, but when I was 6 or 7 years old, 7 or 8, right around there, I think I dug into Rayman a bit, but hell if I remember. So again, that's interesting. I'll definitely be picking this one up. I'm actually, again, I can't give it a full 10 because it's not a Nintendo first party for this dedicated direct. I'm going to give it a floating between a couple of numbers. You know what? Because it's releasing on all consoles and I have the option to get my Xbox if I would like, and it's not a dedicated Switch 2 exclusive, I'll give it a 7.5 just because of that. Otherwise, it would be much higher. But yeah, 7.5 on the scale of hype there. Next, some updates for Pokemon Bacopia. Some quick details here. A free update is releasing August 2026. That just allows you basically to traverse underwater and interact with sea Pokemon and water Pokemon. And then, Nintendo always got to get you, an expansion pass DLC for Pacopia will be rolling out in multiple parts. Part 1 is up for pre-order, available right now on the eShop. And parts 2 and 3 of this paid DLC plan will be available at a later date, and many more details / updates and or updates, however you want to look at it, and determine as are to come. Pokemon Bacopia, when I first saw it last year or so, whenever the hell it was revealed and eventually released, obviously, I was interested. I said I'm definitely getting this day one because I love Animal Crossing. I love Pokemon. So, like, general consensus, general discussion would just lead you, general thinking here would just lead you to believe that I would like that. But I don't know, it kind of came and went for me, and I kind of forgot about it, and I was toying with it, and I'm like, nah, I'll just wait for a Black Friday deal way later this year or something. I think, unfortunately, right now, this pains me to say, but I think, unfortunately, right now I'm kind of burnt out on the life sim genre. I get Tomodachi Life, living the dream. It's nowhere near the quality and excitement level for me, at least personally, and enjoyment level for me, at least personally, of the original 3DS. That's like an all-time game for me. But I thought I would get Pokemon Pacopia day one. I'm just burnt out on the life sim type genre games because there are a couple like meaty story-driven 3D platformers that I want to play over the last year or so with pick up and play as well, with Mario and Luigi Brothership and Donkey Kong Bonanza, DK Bonanza, which we'll touch on in a few minutes here, but yeah. Next, I'm going to go over this one pretty quickly. This is kind of like a Xenoblade Chronicles situation, but this is one I actually do have a moderate level of experience with, a franchise, a new entry in this franchise, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I say I have moderate experience with because when I was little, like 10 or 11 years old, not as little as Rayman, 6 or 7 years old, by my fuzzy remembering correctly, but 10 or 11 years old, I vividly remember going to Target one day, a local Target one day, and picking up Fire Emblem. I'm like, oh, I've heard about this on the 3DS. I'm only 10 or 11 years old, but I've still heard about it from friends in school and such, and I want to play this. So I picked up, I believe, in the 3DS, it was what at the time? Fire Emblem Awakening? I think it was called. I played about halfway through that game, and usually I'm not like a tactical turn-based RPG guy in the Japanese anime style like these games, but damn if I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I honestly want to get back into this one. So, oh, by the way, Pokemon Pacopia. I love Pokemon. I love Animal Crossing. I just didn't get it for whatever reason. I'm going to give it a 5 in the hype scale. Perfectly mediocre in the middle. For this one, though, details, Fortune's Weave, Fire Emblem Sense, releasing on September 17th, 2026. So that's a pretty meaty first-party game, having a 3-month turnaround. That's really nice. That's basically all we saw of it, the release date. I'm going to give it, on the hype scale, a 6.5. Like, I'm surprised, like, how aware I am of wanting to be getting this for myself. Honestly, I might invest my money and time into this. I'm not recapture my childhood magic, if you will. So yeah. Next, we have what is being called the DK Challenge. This is kind of confusing if you didn't follow along intently. I'll break it down here for you in its simplest form. It's being termed the DK Challenge, which basically is You can experience multiple mini challenges across many different current classic NSO DK games that are available on the platform, as well as some DK Bonanza events here and there as well. If you have that game, the challenge itself will be running from June 9th, 2026, so right now, to September 1st, 2026. And if you have DK Bonanza as an added bonus, as an added bonus within that game, they are DK Island and Emerald Rush, that paid DLC package, are the team there are partnering with Super Mario Bros. Within that sense. It's basically just new in-game clothes and items and collectibles. I don't have DK Bonanza. Again, this is kind of the Pokemon Cocopia situation. I would rate it higher if I actually had the game. So just like the Pocopia Sense updates, I'm going to give it a perfectly 5 mediocre in the middle. I just got to pick up these couple. These will be held, these challenges, the Mario and DK Bonanza partnership, moving past this now, will be held in 4 different waves, with the first wave available right now. But yeah, all that plus more, 5 out of 10, the hype, quote unquote, hype meter, if you will, for me. Just put a fun spin in it once again. Yeah. This one, so Nintendo Switch Sports released what? February of 22, so 4 years, a little over 4 years ago now. Damn, time flies. I thought it was, for the most part, underwhelming. Felt underbaked, like so many Nintendo games do these days, whether it's Mario, whether it's just simple Nintendo in its truest form like this one. I thought Switch Sports Resort should have been part of the original Switch Sports from 4 years ago, damn near. A little over that, give or 4 years ago, a little over that now. Give or take. Or at least have a paid DLC expansion, which they love to do a few months later, but the sins are repaid, I guess, now, because Nintendo Switch Sports Resort is confirmed to be releasing on October 22nd, 2026. Now, mind you, Woohoo Island is back, so I thought they would want to release this, because September and October are pretty filled now between Summer Games Fest, Xbox Showcase, Nintendo themselves, obviously, with games galore, it feels like. Maybe not this party, but yeah. I thought Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, would want to release in late July / early August at the latest. I thought that was the perfect pinpoint time, because these are summer vibe sports after all. Speaking of sports, the 12 sports, at least at launch included, will be as following. A lot returning from Wii Sports Resort, mind you. Boxing, we have boxing, table tennis, archery, regular traditional tennis, volleyball, one of my personal top 3 favorites included, bowling, basketball, my favorite by far, golf, thumb wrestling, which surprisingly they did a deep dive on. It actually looked pretty funny and hilarious and fun all around. Skateboarding, so thumb wrestling and skateboarding are brand new sports never seen before, and a couple underrated ones in power cruising across the water and prop plane in the sky across the water. This is interesting because I was disappointed with what they changed the Mii's to be in the current form in Switch Sports, but luckily in Switch Sports Resort here, you can play as either a sports mate, or a traditional Mii character in their truest Nintendo form. I'm gonna do that, obviously. The sports mate looks kind of weird and stupid to me. Just the whole eyes and orientation of the face looks strange. Anyway, once again, reminder, release on October 22nd, 2026. I'm kind of surprised it's taking this long, but hopefully it's not underbaked like other sports games. But most importantly, I thought this would release July, August at the latest to capitalize on the kids being at school in the summertime vibes sports games for sure. But nonetheless, very excited. I can't say I'm hyped out of my mind, because we are only getting 12 sports to begin with, and Wii Sports Resort to what, 2025, I feel like? Like the dog with the frisbee is notably missing. The sword fighting is notably missing. The jousting, whatever it's called, is notably missing. So Yeah, I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10. I think there's a couple things missing right now at first glance, and I think they missed the boat on the earlier release date. But yeah, Star Fox, again, we basically just got a new brief cinematic trailer with Fox McCloud himself talking to Slippy and company and Peppy Pepper, whatever the hell the assistant is there. And yeah, and we basically just got a reminder that it releases in a couple weeks on June 25th, 2026. My pre-order has been booked on Amazon since day one. So not a thing for me. But this is really cool. I'm gonna get my younger brother into this for sure to play with me because I don't know if he's getting the game day one or not. But a free demo on the eShop is available right now at the time you're seeing this video recording, which includes a lot for a demo, a tutorial and one of the game's opening stages. So you'll already be a stage ahead of others, if you will, if you play the demo compared to the day one game. Next, big summertime vibe game, in my opinion, Splatoon Raiders. We got actually a lot here. I was surprised at how much we got. We got new story, Star Fox, by the way. I keep forgetting some of these. Hype meter. I know what it is, obviously a lot, as a diehard Nintendo fan. I absolutely am aware of what it is. I'm going to give it, though, do I put higher? You know what? I'm going to put higher than Switch Sports. Switch Sports, 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 for Star Fox on Switch 2 in a couple weeks. Again, June 25th, 2026. Be on the lookout for that. But yeah. Splatoon Raiders. We just got new story details, and this was a lot of meaty details, such as new characters, new locations, new bosses / villains, etc. A lot of shit like that, a lot of exciting shit like that, which is incredible. And they did this on Splatoon 3 when that released a few years back. A dedicated Splatoon Raiders Direct was announced at the very end of the month, last day of the month, to take place on June 30th, 2026. I imagine it will be something simple like 20 to 25 minutes, but we got a lot of details here already. I don't think I'll get it. I tried Splatoon, the original Splatoon and the Wii U. Not my thing. Tried Splatoon 2 just because 4 or 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I got it on a pretty cheap, mind you, Black Friday deal on Amazon or whatever. Amazon it was at the time. Not my thing. I'm more likely to play this because it seems like it's a more laid-back, summer type vibes game. Spin-off, not as large scale, but probably still won't play it. Just because I'm more likely to play it than the mainline games, I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10, slightly above mediocre hype level, just because of that. And side note, a special Splatoon 3 Splatfest will be happening / taking place ahead of this launch. Speaking of launch, Splatoon Raiders will be releasing on July 23rd, 2026. Awesome marketing, in my opinion. Heart of July, the heart of summer, school's out. Everyone can play with their friends. The kids these days young kids these days, little kids these days like shooting type games to play with their friends and whatnot. So that's really cool. Speaking of kids and little kids, Minecraft Nintendo Switch 2 edition was announced at this event. Nothing particularly great here, outstanding. It's releasing later this year. Hype level. I never got into the Minecraft craze. Not now as an adult, 22 years old. Not as a teenager. And definitely not as a little kid. My brother and I fucked around on it a few times here and there as kids. We screwed around on it here and there. And we had fun. But all in all, I never got into the craze. So it's releasing later this year. I'm assuming that's a game that they can release in December, kind of just shove it towards the end of the year, and it can line up with the other consoles as well, where, hey, going into Christmas, when people say video games, they think of Minecraft. You don't have to tell your relatives and aunts and uncles and family members, I want a specific game. Just say video game, and they'll know Minecraft is very popular around Christmas. A Kingdom Hearts collection, which as I get older, I feel like I'm gravitating towards this genre and franchise in particular, specifically as a whole, more than I would have ever before. Kingdom Hearts collection. The quick details there. It features three. The collection features the three main Kingdom Hearts games, 1, 2, and 3, I believe. They have subtitles. Let me know. It releases on October 8th, 2026, and interestingly enough, I think Nintendo's doing a really good job at Star Fox in this. A free demo of Kingdom Hearts 3 plus Remind is available right now to download on the eShop. Hell, I'll do that tonight or tomorrow. I love Disney. I love Pixar. So I'm not saying this will be a day one pickup for me, but damn near soon after that. So yeah, I mean, I love Disney. I love Pixar. I love animation. I love diving into movie studios like that shit. So, I mean, why not? I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I'm much more likely as an adult to pick this up by more than kids. I feel like kids would be kind of overwhelmed with this. But yeah. Next, I was kind of disappointed that this was the big quote-unquote showstopper, if you will. I don't know if it's a remake. I don't know if it's a remaster. Not quite clear at the very end. Ocarina of Time remake, for all intents and purposes, Ocarina of Time remake. It is releasing later this year. Sometimes we see Zelda in September, just like we saw with Echoes of Wisdom, and sometimes we see it in November, just like we saw with Age of Imprisonment and Age of Calamity back many years ago at this point in time. So I think November would be perfect. Get that Thanksgiving going into Christmas, December month holiday push. I think that would be great. I will admit, though, the graphics do look weird. Link does look weird laying in the bed there. I can't. Speaking of laying in the bed, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? I'm sorry, but that's all we got. We got a cinematic trailer. It was like 1.5, 2 minutes. No story details. No gameplay, anything whatsoever. I'm not saying you need a fucking 4 or 5 minute gameplay trailer, but you definitely need to, like, spice up your marketing a bit, Nintendo. So, yeah. Speaking of spicing up their marketing, this was just a fine definition of mediocre Direct to me. And in that sense, a full 50-minute Nintendo Direct needs to be more than that. So in that sense, it was underwhelming. So in turn, I'm going to give this a final letter grade, the Nintendo Direct of June 9th, 2026, a C. It wasn't outright terrible, but there were a few highlight moments here and there for sure. There were a lot of small things that cumulatively added up to some exciting things for sure here and there. But overall, there was a lot of fluff, too much fluff for my liking personally for sure. So that's why I give it a C. Anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments below right away. What did you think of this about this Direct? What were some of your favorite game announcements? What were some of your biggest disappointments? I had a lot of them as well. Let me know all that down there in the comments below. You can follow me personally on Twitter at awangoner13 for pop culture talk all the time, such as additional TV show, movie, and or video game thoughts, opinions, and discussions. And yeah, please share this video and channel with anyone and everyone you know. I greatly appreciate the support as always, more than you know. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.